video is for the combining like terms notes. So the next thing that we're going to do with these expressions, and what a skill that we need for algebra, is how to combine like terms. So first, what are like terms? So first we have variable terms, and these are terms with a variable. So in our expression up here, the variable terms are 7x. Now I've got a minus 5x. So one thing that we like to do in algebra is we like to make everything addition. And so I've always told kids there's no such thing as subtraction. So if I have something like this, 3 minus 5x, I can turn this into addition problem by adding a line and changing the sign. So minus 5x I can write as a negative 5x. And then here I've got 4x. Those are my variable terms. Then I have constant terms. Now the constant terms are the terms without a variable. These are just the plain old numbers. So I've got a 3, I've got an 8, and here I've got a minus 1, so we're going to turn that into a negative 1. Now the coefficients are the number that are next to a variable. So my coefficients here are 7, negative 5, and 4. It's just the number in front of the variable. Those are telling us to multiply that variable by that value. So you can simplify an expression by combining like terms. So the first thing you need to do is identify your like terms. So here we've got numbers attached to an x, and so I'm going to box those. And then my constants, I'm going to circle. And that way I can kind of keep everything nice and straight. So all I do to combine like terms, 7x, negative 5x, and 4x. I'm going to add 7 plus the negative 5 plus the 4. I'm just going to add the coefficients on the variable terms. So you can do this in a calculator, you can do it however you want to do it. If you can do it in your head, that's fine. If not, that's okay too. So I get a 6. This equals 6. So if I combine 7x, negative 5x, and 4x, I get a 6x. The constants, I do the same thing. I just add them up. 3 plus 8 plus negative 1. 3 plus 8 plus negative 1. And I get a 10 plus 10. If that had been a negative, it would have been minus 10. So all we're doing is we're adding the things that are alike. So here we've got a 3x and a 6x. They're both x's, so the letters have to be the same, and the exponents have to be the same. Okay, so we'll see an example of that later on. So the letters are the same, so all I have to do is add the coefficients. 3 plus 6 is a 9. Tack the variable onto the end. Here I've got 9a minus 10a. The letters are the same, so I've got 9 and a negative 10. So there's two ways that you can do this. You can do 9 plus a negative 10, but since we just have two terms, I could also do 9 minus 10. They're both the same. So again, showing you that subtraction and adding a line, changing the sign, gives you the same answer. So here I get a negative 1. So this would be a negative 1a. But we have another rule in algebra that's called invisible math. We don't like to put this 1. So what we do instead is we make that 1 invisible. We keep the negative sign and we put an a there. So anytime that you see something like this, a negative x, or even just an x, you need to know that there's an invisible 1 in front of that. All right, 7m, 5m, minus 6. So my like terms here are the 7m and the negative 5m. Minus 6 here does not have any like terms, so I'm going to focus on my two like terms, 7 and a negative 5. So I can do 7 plus negative 5, or I can just do 7 minus 5, which gives me a 2. I tack the m on to the end, and then I subtract the 6. There's nothing to combine it with. On number 4, my like terms are 9 and that positive 5. So when we're writing these expressions, if you've got a variable term, which is this negative 6x, that always comes first. And so since there's nothing to combine it with, I can just write it first, since there's nothing else I have to do to it. Now I have to combine 9 and 5. 9 plus 5 is 14. Again, if you need to use a calculator to do this, that is completely okay. All right, number 5, like terms, 7p and negative 9p, and then negative 1 and positive 5. So variables first, variable terms, 7p minus 9p. So I can do 7 minus 9. Again, you can do 7 plus a negative 9. It's the same thing. So here I get a negative 2, tack the variable onto the end. Then I have my constants, negative 1 plus 5. Negative 1 plus 5. So make sure that you don't do minus. You can see here that it pulls up an answer because there needs to be something in front of a subtraction sign. So I get a positive 4. All right, number 6, like terms, 5h and positive 7h are like terms. Constants, negative 6 and negative 8. So letters first. 5 plus 7 is 12. Tack the like term, tack that common variable onto the end. Here I've got negative 6 and a negative 8. So again, negative 6 plus negative 8 or negative 6 minus 8. It's going to give you the same thing. So here I've got a negative 14. So to write that, I just write minus 14. So although in your calculator you need to be specific when using the negative and the subtraction sign, they're kind of interchangeable when we write them in expression form. All right, here's what we talked about exponents. So the letters are the same, the exponents also have to be the same. So if you've got exponents, x squared and x squared, those have to match. So for this one, I'm just going to add 5 plus 7, which gives me a 12, and then I just tack the variable and its exponent onto the end. So again, the variable also has to be the same. So in number 8, like terms, 5x, negative x, positive 3x, those all go together, and then the y's all go together, 7y and 2y. So for this one, I've got 5. So negative x, remember invisible math. That's like a negative 1 in front of that x, and then plus 3. So that's 7x. 7 plus 2 is a 9. Tack the letter onto the end. The other rule of thumb when combining like terms is you put your variables in alphabetical order. So x comes before y in the alphabet. Okay? Biggest thing to remember, negative x, there's that invisible 1 hiding there. And if you need to go write that invisible 1 in, that is completely okay. All right, number 9, 26x plus 2y minus 4x plus 10y. So 26x matches with negative 4x, positive 2y matches with positive 10y. So here I've got 26 plus a negative 4, or just 26 minus 4, would be 22x, and that is a positive. So 2y and 10y, 2 plus 10 gives me 12. All right, more exponents. So always check, letters are the same, x, x, and x. Make sure your exponents are the same, 3, 3, and 3. And then all I have to do, 8 minus 7 plus 16. 8 minus 7 plus 16. So in my calculator, I'm just typing the coefficients. So I get 17, tack the letter and its exponent onto the end. So they need to be exact down, exactly. So for this one, we've got an a squared b. I can't add an a to this. I can't add an a squared to this. I can't add a b to this. That whole little chunk of letters has got to match perfectly. And so in this case it does. So my like terms here, negative 4 a squared b and positive 10 a squared b. So I'm going to add negative 4 plus 10. I get a 6, and then that whole chunk of letters I just tack onto the end. Now I still have one more term, that plus 7, so don't forget about the little guys that just kind of hang out by themselves that may not combine with anybody. Okay, x squared plus 2xy minus 7xy plus 4y squared. The only like terms that we have in this problem, plus 2xy and minus 7xy. So put the x squared first, and then I'm going to combine positive 2 minus 7 or 2 plus a negative 7. So negative 5 would be a minus 5. Tack my letters onto the end. And then I've got this little lone term here. He has to go on there too. So don't forget any pieces. Okay, matching everybody up. A squared, 7ab minus 10ab plus b squared. The only like terms are the plus 7ab and the minus 10ab. So a squared, 7 minus 10 would be a negative 3ab plus b squared. And then this one shows us that our like terms here, 4x squared minus 3x squared, those two go together because the letter matches and the exponent matches. Positive 2x goes with positive 8x because they don't have that exponent. So 4 minus 3 is a 1. So 1x squared, we're just going to write x squared. Okay? Again, if you need to write the 1 in there and then go back and erase it to make it invisible, that's okay if you need that reminder. Then I've got 2 plus 8, which gives me a 10. Now we can also combine like terms when we're doing things like this. Find the perimeter. So perimeter of a triangle, we add all 3 sides. So I would do 2x plus 1 plus x plus 3x, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to combine like terms. 2x goes with x, goes with 3x. Remember the x has a little 1 there, so 2 plus 1 plus 3 gives me a 6. Tack the x onto the end, and we still have that little lone constant. We can't forget about him. Rectangles, same way. You can add all 4 sides. I'm going to show you the next property though with this. So perimeter of a rectangle, I can multiply the side lengths by 2. And when we do this, we're going to use a property called the distributive value. So if I multiply 2 times y plus 2, I'm going to multiply everything by that 2. So 2 times y is 2y. 2 times 2 is a positive 4. I'm going to do the same thing for this side. And we are going to have a whole lesson on the distributive properties, so don't panic if you're going, what? This is not going to be on the homework or quiz for this lesson. So 2 times 3y, I just multiply the coefficients. 2 times 3 is 6, tack on the y. 2 times, remember, minus 5 is a negative 5, would be a negative 10. And then I can add them together. So I would do 2y plus 4 plus 6y minus 10. My like terms, 2y and 6y, positive 4, negative 10. 2 plus 6 is 8y. 4 minus 10 gives me a negative 6. Again, distributive's not going to be on this lesson. It's just kind of previewing it for you.